Imagine living in a world where a single diagnosis could separate you from everything you hold dear: your family, your community, your entire way of life. This was the reality for anyone diagnosed with leprosy in ancient times, a devastating skin condition that turned victims into social outcasts. In first-century Palestine, these individuals lived on society's margins, forbidden from entering towns or approaching healthy people, forced to announce their presence by crying out, "Unclean! Unclean!" It was in this context that one of Jesus's most powerful lessons about gratitude unfolded. As Jesus traveled along the border between Samaria and Galilee, making his way toward Jerusalem, he encountered a sight that would have made most people turn away. 10 men with leprosy standing at a distance, their bodies bearing the visible marks of their affliction. These men represented a unique gathering. In their shared suffering, they had formed an unlikely brotherhood that transcended the deep cultural divisions of their time. Among them were both Jews and Samaritans, groups that typically avoided all contact with each other. Their common pain had erased these social boundaries, uniting them in their desperate search for healing. Seeing Jesus approaching, they raised their voices in a collective cry of desperation. "Jesus, Master, have mercy on us." They had heard stories of this remarkable teacher who could heal the sick and cleanse the unclean. Now, standing before him, they dared to hope for a miracle that would restore not just their health, but their very lives. Jesus' response was both simple and profound. Instead of immediately healing them, he gave them a command that required faith. "Go, show yourselves to the priests." This instruction carried deep significance. According to Jewish law, only priests could declare a person cleansed of leprosy and fit to rejoin society. By telling them to go before any visible healing had occurred, Jesus was testing their faith and obedience. Without questioning or hesitation, all 10 men began their journey to the priests. As they walked, something extraordinary happened. Their skin began to heal. The telltale patches of leprosy disappeared. Their flesh became whole and healthy again. The miracle they had hoped for was actually happening, transforming their bodies with each step they took. But what happened next reveals the heart of this story's message. Out of the 10 men who were healed, only one turned back. This man, upon seeing his healing, immediately abandoned his journey to the priests. Instead, he rushed back to Jesus, praising God with a loud voice. He fell at Jesus' feet, overcome with gratitude, thanking him profusely for this life-changing gift. The detail that makes this moment even more remarkable is that this grateful man was a Samaritan, someone considered a foreigner and religious outsider by the Jews. Jesus himself drew attention to this surprising twist, asking, "Were not all 10 cleansed? Where are the other 9? Has no one returned to give praise to God except this foreigner?" The absence of the other 9 speaks volumes. They had received the same miraculous healing, the same chance at a new life, yet they continued on their way without expressing gratitude. Perhaps they were too eager to resume their normal lives. Maybe they felt entitled to the healing. Or possibly, they simply took the miracle for granted, focusing on the gift rather than the giver. To the one who returned, Jesus offered an additional blessing. "Rise and go. Your faith has made you well." This statement suggests that while all 10 were physically healed, the Samaritan received something more, a spiritual wholeness that came from recognizing and acknowledging the source of his healing. This story resonates deeply with our human tendency to take blessings for granted. How often do we focus on what we lack rather than expressing gratitude for what we have? The 9 who didn't return mirror our own moments of ingratitude, times when we've received good things but failed to acknowledge their source. The grateful Samaritan teaches us that true gratitude is more than just feeling thankful. It's an action. It's taking the time to stop, turn around, and express appreciation. His example shows us that gratitude has the power to transform a simple healing into a profound spiritual encounter. This narrative challenges us to examine our own hearts. Are we like the 9 who received their blessing and moved on? Or are we like the one who took the time to express genuine gratitude? The story reminds us that every day brings opportunities to choose gratitude, to acknowledge our blessings, and to thank those who have impacted our lives positively. In a world that often focuses on entitlement and instant gratification, this ancient story offers a timeless reminder. Gratitude is not just a polite response. It's a transformative power that can deepen our relationships, enrich our spiritual lives, and change our perspective on everything we receive.